Hello and good morning and welcome to Find Her Seat, a show that is dedicated to helping women find their rightful seat at the table. And so today with your hosts, Jennifer Etter
and Susan Mobley,
we are welcoming
Jenny Thompson and Lori Inman
to the table. So
thanks for having us.
Yes, we're so excited. As you can see, we're all dolled up.
Yes.
And we are in their beautiful Luxington Boutique here in Uptown Houston.
We're excited that y'all invited us to come in, and we'll admit we're probably a little extra excited that we got to try on some of your pretties. So we were, if you could have seen the before from the show, maybe that'll be another part we'll do. The live before, we were running around and trying different things on and trying fabulous.
We should do before and after.
Oh, yeah.
And for promoting their discount on your clothes today.
That's what
we
like
love that. Yeah, so we're right here off of Post Oak in this beautiful shopping area. And like I said, it's Luxington Boutique. And Jenny, you are the owner of Luxington, right?
Yes, I am.
And how long have you been in this location? I know that y'all are getting ready for a grand opening.
We are on Sunday, May 19th, this Sunday. Mother's Day was last Sunday, so we didn't want to do it then. And it's day 53.
That
is
is
7 hours and 2 minutes.
Not
that anyone's counting. The struggle's real.
Now, what made you decide on coming to this location in this area?
So I would eat lunch at North and come over here and shop and then go to Facade and get makeup. And I love this area. I love the restaurant. And I got to know the previous owner, and she called me in, I guess, the end of February and said, I need you to come speak your credits. And I just was, what's the emergency? She said, I'm selling the shop. And I was like, I love your shop. Why are you doing that? So thus began our journey of 20 days later. It was, here we are. I mean, literally, we switched over on March 14th. Yeah.
Wow.
So, and it's been super fun. I've always wanted to own my own business, and it sort of fell in our lap. I think it was kind of a bad thing.
Right.
Yeah. And so I never knew it was going to be this hard, but it's really fun. And I have Lori, and there's some great staff. So it's coming together.
So Lori, tell me, how did you get involved in the boutique?
Well, Jenny contacted me via a friend, Laura Jorn, who's actually a jewelry designer, and we carry her line here in the store.
Yes, we had her on our show.
Yes, we do love Laura. And Laura let her know that I owned my own business as a stylist and did VIP personal shopping and things like that for clients. And Jenny contacted me and asked me if I would come in and help her set up the store. Yeah, so I guess it started there, and we met and we hit it off right away, and I've been here since. I don't know. It just kind of.
She's my muse.
No, we absolutely love it. And so let me just say, she knows what she's doing because she walked straight to a rack, picked out this outfit for me, and it's like it was made for me. Just saying.
Yeah,
she did a good job.
Yeah,
I know, we were excited to see all the ways you put them together.
You'll be seeing me in this again.
Keep coming back.
Right?
Promotions, discount.
I know, I think I see
guys are
a
so
future of us being dressed by Luxington would be fun.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So, okay, Jenny, I want to know more about your background and what led you here.
How did I get here? Good question. So I was a teacher for 10 years or so at St. Francis, taught third grade, and then I went on a mission trip to South Africa, and I was fundraising after I taught school. I went down to fundraising and did alumni, major gifts, grants, and special events. And they sent me to the Rice School of Education for Development. I guess it's a CFRE, for development certification. And then the head of school, Susie Lair, was super supportive about me wanting to fundraise for children that really specifically had special needs or needed help. So I ended up at the Westview School and for another 6-8 years, I think exact. So I had my daughter, and so then I ran a nonprofit, which I currently run, Autistic Rescue Angels.
Oh, wow.
Autism Rescue Angels. And so I do that on the side. I've been doing that for 4 or 5 years. And then this fell in my lap, so I did that. And when we get out of the red, after the grand opening, I was, my heart is service, and acts of service. And so I want to always give 10% back or whatever, 15, 20.
Wonderful.
Things are going to fly off the shelf. So
Yes, they are.
we're going to be giving, but we also support another organization, Aspire, and their children, it's like a home ec shop sort of, where they make all the jewelry. Some of us probably have some on. And then when we sell them, they get the money. And then Denise Hazen, who started that, and Wendy Dawson, they give the money back to the kids as their pay for their job.
Fun.
So yeah, so we're trying to keep it real, because I've never been for profit.
Right.
So this is a whole new thing.
Right.
Absolutely.
But that's awesome that you're still keeping your charity work and giving back to the community. I know Jennifer and I are big on abundance.
Oh, yes. Oh, my gosh.
Giving back to.
In fact, we just donated a bunch of clothes to the women's home.
Oh, that's
Yeah, because we have to empower women.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what we
And now,
do.
Lori, you were doing more like in-home service and that type of thing before. So what made you decide to want to come and be part of this boutique, besides the fact that she's amazing and the boutique is amazing? But I'm thinking that wasn't probably the journey that you thought you'd be on.
Well, I was in a bit of a transition in just my own business and what direction I wanted to take it in. And honestly, I've been learning a lot about it and what direction to take it in. And I really had no idea, because my business partner and I went separate in our separate ways, our separate directions. And I honestly feel like it was just kind of handed to me. And I really do feel like it was serendipitous and it was meant to be. And my life up until that point had all kind of been leading up to it.
Right.
But I really love working with women every day, and I love talking to them, and I love getting to know them, because we all have our own story to tell.
Right.
And I feel like our clothes and what we wear and how we present ourselves, it's a big part of that. And I feel like women need a voice, and part of getting dressed up and wearing makeup and fixing your hair can be part of your voice, but I feel like you're more confident if you look good, to say how you feel and what you think. So that's kind of a big part. And I'm so glad that Jenny asked me to be a part of this, and that she's allowed me to be here every day. And we have a blast. I think we laugh probably at like 70% of the time. We're laughing and we're having fun together. But so
I was checking out your Instagram, and I saw some of Lori on there. I'm like, y'all are having way too much fun. We need to come hang out here every day.
And that's why I like the whole picture and social media thing. I've always been like, well, because you can have, we have struggled, but it's been, we're trying to make the best of it.
Right.
And, the shelf did fall off the wall the other day.
Oh, I saw that.
That was totally my fault. Oh, stop it. No, it was funny. We were laughing, because it was like, well, the struggle's real, just stuff like that. And we had some clients that were here shopping, and we were just laughing. So I was like, okay. And they actually took pictures with their cell phones, but she looked so good. I was like, okay, we have that. And we were just dying. We had a lot of fun.
But don't you feel like some of the times those struggles are what make you appreciate when
absolutely.
you start having, the people come in for your grand opening, and that you are, you're exuding excitement, which, like you were saying, it helps change women, I think, to give them that confidence. So when y'all are having fun in here, it makes someone else want to, jump in there and get dressed up and feel confident. I know Jennifer and I were, I think when we came in, we were, dressed fine. But once we got our clothes on, we're like, okay, we're ready for this show. Let's put some earrings on.
It's happy hour.
Yes, exactly.
Where do we go next?
I know.
Y'all can wear the clothes on. But the other thing that's super fun is my husband will tell you I need about 5,000 more today. He needs like 50, 500.
Right.
So it's nice because we can all visit and just kind of bond and hang out.
It's like a sisterhood.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
It really is.
Now, how many children do you have?
I have one.
Okay.
She's 7.
Uh-huh.
And she's been up here. My husband's been up here. It's a family affair.
I love that.
My daughter leaves us little notes in the cash register. Like, you guys are doing great.
Oh, that's awesome.
You're working so hard. And,
Already empowered women, empowered
Right.
women.
Yes.
She opened the desk drawer that we've just gotten. And it's just so organized. I love it. And then she took all the colors out and just writes us notes and stuff. So
That's awesome.
And I love that she sees that we're working hard, because this morning I walked in and she's like, Mommy, you've been working so hard. I'm like, I know. And it's all, it's it's for a purpose.
Right.
And I honestly believe that that's one of the most important things
Just
that a
teaching our
woman
kids.
can do, because literally what you are showing your daughter is what's possible.
Right.
And so their lid actually goes a little bit further. You know, when we are successful or when they see us working hard and creating something different, then they know already that's their set point, that that is what is possible and above.
Right.
And so I really love that you are bringing your daughter along on this. And so tell me, Lori, how many children do you have?
I have 3 children. My son is 19 and he's a pilot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then my daughter, my oldest daughter, she's 17 and she wants to go into costume design. She's going to graduate on Sunday. Well, not this Sunday, next Sunday. And then Kiwi is 11 and she loves anything clothes and fashion and looking pretty and feeling good.
They're going to be business women.
They are. I feel like they have a good direction, and me as a mom, I have communicated with my kids since they were babies. I've talked to them since they were babies, and I feel like because I have done that with them, they communicate back with me, and we can talk about our struggles just within our jobs now and in school and everything like that. And I feel like with kids, especially when you're a working mom, they can kind of feel like they've been put on the background. But I feel like my kids are being so supportive and they're so loving and they're so kind, and they do the same thing. They'll send me text messages. They've been up to the store a number of times just to come and visit. And they come and take me to lunch. And so it's just been
your stepchild.
okay.
That's great.
So it's been, I love being a mom. It's my favorite career.
Yeah.
Being a mom is my favorite career.
Yes.
This is kind of secondary, I guess, to being a mom, but that's my first career choice, I guess.
Your artistic expression.
And don't you think it's so important though to have that? I don't like it when people are saying, "Oh, I'm just a mom." Like, you're not just a mom. That's the biggest job you can have. But I know, like with Jennifer and I, like us finding other avenues to express ourselves has given to our children in ways that we never could have even thought. You know, I know we both got supportive kids, and they watch us, and they'll come to meetings with us and travel with us for work, but they see us doing something that we're passionate about. And I know that with all of our children that they're getting a bigger gift than we could ever give them if we didn't pursue our own passion. I know we talk about balance and that there's not really a balance.
No such thing.
Very hard. And that's probably the thing that Lori is really helping with is, you know, I worked up until the day I had my daughter, and I couldn't wait to get married and have kids and stay home. But then I was like, you know, and so I've been trying to find something, and I have little, you know, the nonprofits and stuff. But the feeling like a guilty mom because you're not doing the pickups anymore, and so I'm having to like readjust the way I think because, like you said, my daughter is like, oh, I want to go to the store, like whoever picks her up. And she comes up here all the time. And she's like, look what you guys have done this to the place. So I honestly am seeing, even though I've had a little bit of like, you know, sort of like, she hasn't seemed to, in fact, her little videos, when she takes my phone, I'll find them later. I love your dressing room. Don't check the benches out. The benches.
Right.
And, I love the artwork, you know, so I think you guys are right. Like, I'm seeing the result of her seeing me work hard, and she's supporting me. She's 7, so I do believe in, you know, female empowerment. So
it's huge.
It's great. It really is.
I do want to say that, you know, those of you who are moms out there, and you know, you are at that point in your life where you are staying at home. We are not putting that down whatsoever, because we also know how very difficult that is to keep up with the house and the kids, and
that's sometimes harder.
And I was going to say it actually is so much harder, and maybe that was part of my need for something extra. For sure.
For you.
Yes, for me. And I know I personally needed something extra, something bigger than myself, bigger than my home.
They go to school, and then you're like, oh, I was at home all day.
Right.
Yes.
So I did want to say
yourself
that. Yes, for sure. Yes,
I know, we love those stay-at-home moms. I was a stay-at-home mom. You know, I was one of those that would sad to say I would be the one. I'm just a mom.
Well,
and now I look back, I'm like, oh my gosh. And I was a single mom with a 1-year-old and a 4-year-old, and so I was not just a mom. I was doing a lot. But for me, it's been so exciting to find something, and it doesn't, you know, have to be a 9 to 5 or
Right.
whatever it is.
It can be
Like
whatever
for you, like
fulfills
for
you.
charity or whatever, but I think it's important for women to realize that it, like you were saying, the mom guilt, like we've all experienced it.
Right.
It's a real thing.
Yeah.
But I think that mom guilt, instead of feeling guilty about it, to see that you are empowering your children.
Right.
And that you're showing them something bigger and better. And it's not just, you know, that absolutely you can be a stay-at-home mom, but you can do these other things as well with it.
Yeah.
And you're going to benefit your family at the end of the day, which I think is so exciting for all of us.
And you know what they always say, you know, to model, like, you know, you don't have to tell people all your good deeds. You just have to, they need to see the way you act and then the way you carry yourself. And that inspires people to want to be, not like you, but want to be, you know, a better person. And I want my daughter, and I mean, we all want that for our kids. So.
Yeah, Jennifer and I, you know, we started Find Her Seat.
Yeah.
Was because of that. We wanted women to feel like, and we always say, kind of like the stay-at-home moms, we love men. You know, we've all got them in our lives, and we love them. Yeah, we love men. But we want women to feel empowered to find their seat at the table, and to feel like they have a, you know, a voice, be it financially or whatever it is that they want to contribute, but that they have their voice. I think what you're saying is in total alignment with what we kind of set out to do, and that is
your mission.
Exactly, finding these boss babes, you know,
I love that.
doing amazing things, and you know, trying to include their families and realizing the importance of all of that.
When you guys are promoting boss ladies.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Sure.
Yes.
We just need a little suit.
I know, right?
Okay, so now we get to the part where I ask some of the difficult questions. And my number one question, as our audience definitely knows that I like to ask, is what is your why?
My why? What do you mean?
Why you do what you do, what drives you at the core of you?
Okay. Well, like I said, service and being
so why
with people.
is that? Why is that important?
You know, I don't know. I've always loved, I mean, I used to play teacher, and then I was a teacher. I used to nanny, I used to tutor. Everything I've ever done has probably been for kids. Maybe because I wanted to have kids so badly. And my mom worked a little bit when we were young, and I mean, she was a good role model. You know, my father was always really hardworking. My why is I want to be fulfilled, and I want to be happy. And, you know, I can play tennis and I can go to lunch, but what am I doing for others? And I guess, you know, the contributing, and it's the 5 languages of love. Mine is, you know, acts of service is my number one thing. And be it fun, you know, nonprofit work, or be it, right now I'm serving people clothes. But the other thing I tell them is we don't, like, we care, but none of us work on commission. So it's, we don't, if it doesn't look good on you, we're going to tell you, because we don't want someone to walk out and not feel good about themselves. Or if it's not flattering, like, you know what, I think we can do better. Or if you already have a black dress, don't buy one, you know.
I went through, 3 or 4 changes this morning. Trying on different things to see what would look right, and it was.
Those are really good questions, the why. Maybe I'm still discovering my why.
You might be,
you know?
and it will evolve, for sure.
I just knew I wanted to do something for me and do something that was different. I mean, I've never owned a boutique. I didn't even know brands. I was like, okay,
You're like, that's pretty.
Well, I would just kind of buy what I liked, and I like to bargain shop. So our prices are pretty reasonable. I mean, so kind of tried to touch the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, like all women, you know. I mean, so just because my mom's 76 doesn't mean she doesn't want to look well, or, you know what I mean. And there's all different sizes and shapes, and not one size is the best, you know. So we have sizes for everyone, and we also want to be exclusive, where like we only ordered four of those, and they're gone. It's funny, the news, the other newscaster has picked this one out.
There we go. It's fine.
I like to make people feel good, and I think in this day and time, like maybe my why is like, let's coexist happily, and let's be kind to others, and let's tell the truth, and let's be honest. And because people have walked in here before, and just the stories they tell us, and they're so down, or, you know, so, I mean, you can imagine, and they are just really run down. And then they may not buy anything, but
Right.
they'll come back. I mean, this one lady, she came back and we're like, we'll see you tomorrow. And every time she came back, she just, you know, her hair was done and her makeup was done. And then we're like, you know what, you're having a hard time. So like, you know, we're just gonna, we're gonna help you out. And so we watched her sort of transpire. And so I guess making people feel good about themselves, and that I was always the one, my mom told me, there's someone in the corner that's being left out or picked on. Those are the people who need to go. Because I was, you know, everyone's bullied, everyone has a story. We don't need to go into mine. But so I have always done that. The one that looks skittish at a party, I'll go speak with. The one that comes in and is like, y'all don't have any sizes for me. I'm like, you know what? If today's not your day, come back. And like the lady from France, she bought some earrings, and anyway, she came, she didn't seem like she was having a very good day, actually. I'm not reading her mind, but just her body language. And then Lori helped her, and we're like, we don't really, you can buy whatever you want, but we like those on you, but it doesn't matter. And so did she come back the next day? She was like, well, how do you say in French? Like, au revoir. Bonjour. Yeah, that's but yeah, she was so happy, and she was like, I've told everyone about it. And it was so nice to see her, just that she was in a better mood and nobody knows why people have bad days. But I don't know, I think in this day and time, like there's probably maybe, don't quote me on the statistic, but there's probably 5 to 10% of the population that's actually kind to others. You know what I mean? I mean, that's just my personal opinion. So we're just promoting fun and kindness and love. Yes, and love.
Your version of love, for sure.
And Lori, you don't have to get out of it.
What's your why?
What's your why?
Let's go, Lori.
What's my why? Well, for me, I grew up in a very small town in Nebraska. I grew up in a very tight-knit community. There are only 300 people in my town. And sorry. I know.
You're learning more about it today, too.
And I grew up in a big family, right? So, and I was the middle child. So I always kind of felt like there's seven kids. Well, there need to be workers for the farm.
So you were like basically a tenth of the community was your family.
Technically, yeah. That's true. Put it that way. But you know, I was the middle child, and my identity was kind of always wrapped up in my brothers or my sister. And you know, why can't you be more like so and so, and why can't you do more of what they're doing with their life? And so I didn't really feel like I had any kind of identity whatsoever. And I guess when I got pregnant with my son, I finally knew, oh my goodness, I know who I am now, right? And it was the strangest feeling to know, oh my gosh, now I know what I meant to do with my life. Well, then it was all of those things I didn't accept about myself, and all of the things that I was told that were wrong about myself, I then started to accept. Now, my family was always really supportive, always very loving, but when you come from a big family, you have your brothers and your sisters are successful in things that you're not necessarily successful in, you know, and which is fantastic, you know, and I love who they are and they love who I am, but I never really had an identity. And once I accepted who I was, and I started to say, oh, you know what, I do love clothes, and I do love fashion, and I do love to help women, and I do love people, and I want to help children, and I want to give myself to other people because I want them to feel good and like themselves. And so I guess my why is I just want people to like who they are and just accept themselves.
Be who they are.
And be who they are. Yeah. And so
definitely we find that when people stop trying to fit into a mold that they think they're supposed to be. And I know I'm guilty of it too. Actually, when I first started a course to learn how to do the podcast, the teacher called me out on it because she said, no, it's still very confusing because I feel like you're trying to be something you're not. And I thought, gosh, well then I need to be me. Like people really want me to be me, and will they accept me? Because I always felt like the real me was weird, and I needed to be someone else. And so once I allowed myself to be me, just like you said, it opens you up, and everything it's less resistance, and everything just opens up, and you find yourself on your journey and on your true path. So
I think when you're
it's that.
authentic, it comes through and people are more receptive to you. And no matter what business you do or what you do in life, if you're authentic, people will gravitate towards that and really appreciate it. Because I think, like you're saying, not everybody's kind, and I think not everybody's authentic either. So when you really start to be you, you can definitely start to shine.
That's interesting because there's this book, it says, let me be me and let you be you. And it's one of those shorter books. That's not a bad bedtime book. Truth be told. But we've always, like, our mantra to our daughter was individuality. And when she was 2 years old, she'd be like, individuality is the cutest thing. Because, you know, when they're growing children, they're like, well, I want things because so-and-so's bangs, or I want, and well, or they'll change, like, well, I want a Coke now, or, you know. And you know what? It doesn't matter if Sally Joe likes high tops, or if you want to, someone wants to wear sparkle shoes, because it's called individuality. And so it is, I think everybody needs to let other people be them and you be you. You know,
I love that. So definitely, this is the beautiful boutique that shares love.
So you guys want to give us your address and where they can find you on social media?
We are at 1700 Post Oak Boulevard, right next to North Italia, which is really yummy food and
really
great wine. So
good people too. They're fun and sweet over there too.
yeah, so come and see us. We have a lot of fun here.
Yes. And then on Instagram is Luxington. Is it
Luxington Boutique,
Okay. And then they can use their website too as well.
Yeah, so all that sort of is in transition.
Right, as y'all are doing your grand opening.
Yes.
Beta. That's it.
Beta.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all up and running. We're trying to make it us.
Right.
So we've actually just started posting photos, I think a couple of days ago. The social media person did, because we wanted to wait till we were us, you know, I mean, instead of, we actually had not posted anything until a couple days ago, I believe is when it started.
And I would suggest the best way to find them is definitely by coming in here, because these lovely ladies will be here to help you, and it's a fun vibe. And oh my goodness, I wish, hopefully y'all can see a little bit behind us about all the beautiful things.
It's Hotel California. Once we got you in here, you're not leaving.
They suck you in, and you don't want to leave.
Y'all are fun.
Thank you. So we appreciate y'all joining us today on Find Her Seat, and hopefully you follow us each week as we do a show. Hopefully some more live from Luxington and in their pretty little outfits. You can find us at findherseat.com, as well as Find Her Seat on Instagram and on Facebook. So we look forward to everyone enjoying the rest of their day, and we appreciate Lori and Jenny for joining us on Find Her Seat.
Well, and thank you guys for your time
Yes.
and letting us promote and share our stories.
Yes, and don't forget their grand opening is coming up, so come
On
and
Sunday.
pay them a visit.
Yeah.
Take care.
Okay, y'all do that every day. That's